Vous avez déjà eu du mal à comprendre la différence entre don't have et haven't? I don't have time, I haven't time, she doesn't have a dog, she hasn't a dog. Lequel est correct et quelle est la différence? Alors ne vous inquiétez pas, aujourd'hui je vais tout vous expliquer. Bonjour à toutes et à tous, moi c'est Georgia, coach d'anglais, et sur ma chaîne English, bien entendu, je démystifie les questions et les pièges les plus courants que vous rencontrez en anglais. Alors activez les sous-titres si vous en avez besoin et let's start. Don't have and haven't. Let's start with, I think, the most important concept of today's conversation, and that is talking about possession. We use have for so many things, but today let's go back to the original, the number one definition in the dictionary of have, which is to own or to possess something. In a positive sentence, I could say, I have a pen. He has a phone. But how can we make these sentences negative? Let's sidetrack a little bit and talk about negatives in English. Let's take the sentence, he is eating, or the sentence, they can swim. In these sentences, to be and can are extra verbs. So to make a negative in English, we add not to the extra verb, not to the main verb. He isn't eating, or he's not eating, or they can't swim. The only exception to this is the verb to be. For example, yes, we can say, we are hungry, we are not hungry. They are ready, they are not ready. Okay, so back to have and possession. Our sentences were, I have a pen and he has a phone. So if we can't add not to our main verb, have, we need to add an extra verb. And of course, in English, we love the verb to do. So let's add it. So to make our sentences negative, we have, I don't have a pen. He doesn't have a phone. This is the correct way to use don't have or doesn't have to talk about possession in a negative way. I should add that it is possible and correct to say, I haven't a pen or he hasn't a phone, but it's quite formal, sounds a little old-fashioned, and it's definitely very British English. You might hear this, for example, in some older films or series.
They haven't a clue. He hasn't a chance.
But when it comes to everyday speech, it's not commonly used. Okay, so then what is haven't and hasn't? Well, sometimes have can be an extra verb, and this is also the case in French. For example, in the sentence, j'ai mangé une pomme, I don't have an apple. This have, or avoir, gives me more information about the main verb, manger, or to eat. It tells me about when this action happened. So when have or has is the extra verb, meaning you can see another action after it, then we can say haven't or hasn't. For example, I've eaten. I haven't eaten. She's finished. She hasn't finished. So now that you understand the difference between these two, here is a great tip if you want to forget about don't have or doesn't have and just use haven't or hasn't. Instead of using have to talk about possession, you can use the less formal but not informal expression have got. Here, got is the main verb, which talks about possession, and have is our extra verb. For example, I've got a pen. I haven't got a pen. He's got a phone. He hasn't got a phone. Here, the meanings of don't have and doesn't have are exactly the same as haven't got and hasn't got. There is no difference. But we don't really use have got in the past or in the future. you'd still need to say, for example, I had a pen, I didn't have a pen. He'll have a phone, or he won't have a phone. All right, let's practice. Which of these items don't you have? Or which of these haven't you got? Tell me in the comments. So that's all for today. Thank you so much to everyone who has already subscribed to this channel. I hope you found today's video useful and interesting. And guys, I'll see you again very soon in my next video.